My name's Kate-Kaye. I'm senior editor at ClickZ News, and this is Josh Koster. He's a managing partner at Chong-Designs. They do online consulting for online campaigns, mainly progressive and liberal campaigns. So we actually just got through with a panel here at Search Engine Strategies New York, in which we discussed how political campaigns differ from corporate efforts in terms of using search and what some of the key nuances are. And one of the big differences between political campaigning, and any kind of marketing effort for a corporate advertiser is the need to persuade. Persuasion is sort of a similar, like a corporate marketer might understand persuasion by thinking of it as like brand affinity or branding. It's a little bit more amorphous than a direct response kind of a campaign or effort. So Josh is going to talk to us a little bit about how search can facilitate voter persuasion. And maybe you want to describe voter persuasion in a different way. I don't know if I did it well.
No, I think the brand loyalty comparison is particularly apt, particularly when you're talking about brands that are oligopolistic, where there's like a Pepsi and a Coke, and so you can sway a voter from you or from your opponent to you and pick them up just as easily as getting someone who is not using either. And one of the things that's actually interesting about this election cycle is it's the first cycle really where voter persuasion moved onto the internet. Up until now, it's all been about fundraising, and it's all been about organization and keep talking to your base and to your supporters and keeping them active. But now, as more and more people are fast forwarding through ads and watching their TV online, and it's getting harder and harder to reach people through traditional means, television, and in fact, as people are becoming transient and you know, the average person holds a job for like a year, it's hard to even reach them through mail. And so where paid search and other PPC advertising comes in here is to target those particularly hard to reach people. And since you're using 70-character text ads, which don't have the same oomph as a 30-second spot with music and voiceover, it ultimately comes down to hyper-relevancy and to delivering the exact message to the exact person who needs to see it. And thankfully, the PPC networks offer all sorts of targeting options to make that easy.
I don't know if there's if you want to maybe give us an example from a recent campaign. You did some interesting work with the Franken campaign. Is there anything specifically that you would refer to? You were talking about veteran, targeting on some unique types of keywords for that campaign that corporate marketers might not typically do.
Sure. Well, one of the things about search that's unique is when someone searches for something, they tell us a little something about themselves. For instance, if someone is searching for a veterans hospital or for the address of their local veterans hospital, we know that they are either a veteran or someone who has a veteran in the household or someone who at the very least needs to know how to drive a veteran. And so we know that they're highly likely to care about veterans issues, and so we can message to them on that. The same could be true of someone searching for a large animal veterinarian. We can identify that they are likely to be a farmer or in some way involved in agribusiness, and then sort of insert the perfect a message on that exact topic to them. And the idea is to be everywhere all at once with all the messages you have, so that every person has a unique experience based on their own interests and gets the that candidate understands me feeling out of it.
So for Al Franken's campaign, you had ads that were directly targeted to, say, a search on Minneapolis veterans hospitals or something like that.
Yeah, we bought the names of the veterans hospitals, we bought veterans hospitals in general, and then did geo-targeting, just based on the fact that if someone was looking for a veterans hospital and happened to be in a certain area, we knew they were looking for one. We didn't need to know the name of that one. A lot of the times it was the actual keywords that did the targeting, but a lot of the times it was the extra layers we could apply on top. Like, for instance, doing keywords within placement targeting or layering geo-targeting on top of it, and then doing much more broader terms like VA hospital in general.
So as you guys can see, political search has a lot of components that corporate marketers will be familiar with, but a lot of new things to think about.